What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. So a few months back, I made a video talking about the 2021 redesigned Tundra and what is rumored to be coming on it, engine choices, things like that. If you didn't see that video, I'm going to put a link above me right now. Make sure you check that out so you can come back and give your opinion on what we're about to talk about, which is what you guys have been saying since then about what you want to see on the 2021 redesigned Tundra. Stay tuned. So I put the video up in January, so this is about 5 months of comments that I've kind of rounded in to 4 main things that you guys have been talking about the most for the 2021 redesign. So this is the most popular. It's not in any particular order, but this is the one that everyone keeps talking about. People want to see a 6-foot bed option on a Crewmax. My goodness, I hear it all the time. It seems that the problem is for the consumer is when they get to the dealership, they end up buying the double cab strictly on the fact that they need the bed, but then they wish they had the cab space of the Crewmax. So obviously the fix is, why can't we get a 6-foot bed option on a Crewmax? Now that doesn't mean all beds on the Crewmax have to be 6 foot or 6.5 foot. They just want an option of it. So there are going to be some people out there who buy a Crewmax and want the short bed. Personally, I like the look of the short bed. It's kind of perfect for my lifestyle, you know, bikes, outdoor equipment, sporting stuff like that, you know, things like that. But if you're someone who, you know, is a contractor, landscaper, you want more bed space, but maybe you have a crew where you actually need a bigger cab as well. So the number one thing you guys always talk about is a 6-foot bed option on a Crewmax. I certainly hope they do that for you guys because it seems like a lot of you want to see it. The next one is everybody, well, a good amount of you, want to see a diesel and a heavy-duty option for the Tundra. Now, personally, I don't think we will see that. I feel like Toyota is going the other direction now, but there is a market out there for a diesel Tundra. And back in, I think it was 2008, they started to develop a heavy-duty dually Tundra, which you could go on the internet and check out. Just search dually Tundra. You'll see the prototype picture that they had at some of the auto shows back then. But they scrapped that almost immediately in like 2009 when the economy kind of took a dive, and they just want to go with the half-ton market now, gas engine. But I feel like a diesel option may be the way to go. One of the big issues in the United States today is that there's so many regulations on diesels. It's kind of expensive, it's hard, and they fear that there won't be enough of a market to back up all that money they would have to put into developing a diesel engine. Now, they already have diesels in Europe, but they're even starting to wind down on those over there. So I think Toyota's going a different direction. As far as a heavy-duty option, I could see that happening. I think that would be pretty cool. You know, maybe a Tundra with a little bit beefier of a motor, or the 5.7 with more output, something like that. Could even be a dually option, but with a gas motor. But again, I really don't see the diesel option. But I hope for you guys that want the diesel and the heavy duty that somewhere down the road we get it. I just don't see it happening in 2021. The next one is everybody wants to see them keep the 5.7 motor, but update it. Now, as you'll see in the video that I made, if you haven't seen the redesigned Tundra rumor video, they're thinking twin turbos. They're thinking some form of electric motor to make more power, better gas mileage, all of that. But the hope and thought process is they will keep the 5.7, kind of like Ford did. Ford went EcoBoost, but they still kept the Coyote 5.0 V8 engine. So the chances of them actually keeping the 5.7 is pretty strong. What they need to do is get the gas mileage better, because that's what it's all about. MPG, people are really complaining that the MPG is pretty low for the Tundra. So maybe Atkinson cycle, 8-speed transmission, something along those lines to help the 5.7 a little bit, but not ruin the characteristics of it. That's the big issue for me with it. I don't want them to ruin what the 5.7 is. Now, there's some of us like me who don't really care about gas mileage. I work really close to home. I have a supercharged 5.7 liter engine now, filling up at 93. So, you know, it's fun for me. But I know a lot of you out there, you know, use your truck for work, or you work far away and you need a truck. So gas mileage is very important to you and to the average consumer. So we'll see what happens with that, but I would like to see them, as you would, keep the 5.7, do some updates to it, but let's not ruin what the motor is. I think it's the best V8 on the market today. I don't care what anyone says, that's how I feel, and that is not a biased opinion. Just when you go out there and drive other V8 engines, the 5.7 iForce V8 from Toyota is just something else, man. It's ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time in 2006 and 2007 when it was coming out, and it's still, you know, an advanced motor. The next thing is everybody wants to see upgraded interior and technology. Now, what I mean by that upgraded interior is the biggest complaint I hear about the Tundra all the time is that the interior looks very dated. Okay, so everyone wants to see a whole new layout in there. As far as technology goes, I definitely hear you, and I'm on your side with that. Because lately, I've been having so many problems with my Entune system, Bluetooth connection with my phone, all of that, that it definitely could use a solid update just to bring it up to par with where everybody else is at nowadays. JBL sound system leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion. It's good when the windows are up and you're just cruising, but as soon as you put those windows down, the sound from the wind just drowns out the radio, the stereo, whatever. I feel like they could do a little bit better on that. Maybe more speakers, maybe just some better development. I don't know, but I would like to see just a better, just whole center stack infotainment, all of it. Throw it out and start over. Update the system. One thing I will say is the Entune system is very easy to navigate through and use. It's just some of the features aren't available when needed. It's not a consistent kind of setup, in my opinion. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It shouldn't be that way. It should always work. So those are the 4 main things that you guys were talking about that you want to see. Okay, and don't be afraid to comment below and let me know if there's other things you want to, you know, talk about with the 2021 redesign. You'll see in the video that I made about 5 months ago, you know, they're talking potential aluminum body or at least aluminum bed. There's a lot of rumors out there. Now for me, I don't need this anymore. Now I'll tell you how I feel about the whole situation. So I'm going to come at it as I don't want to see a specific thing. I kind of want to see a broad range of things. And what I mean by that is I feel like Toyota needs to, you know, hit it out of the park with this. We've waited a long time on the redesigned Tundra, have we not? Okay, the reliability is there, sure. The resale value of the truck is there, sure. But there hasn't been a solid update since 2014, and that was mostly cosmetic, all right? What they need to do is not only catch up to where the market is nowadays with everything and the technology, but they need to surpass where the market is nowadays. They need to wow. If they want to sell Tundras the way that I hope they want to sell Tundras. I don't want Toyota, as the brand that I use day in, day out for all these years, to be settling, well, we have a piece of the half-ton market, so we're good. I don't want that. I want Toyota to go into this and say, well, I want to be #1 in the market. And no matter how much they laugh at them or how much people say, never happen, it'll never happen, I still want to see that try. I feel like in 07 when they came out with that Tundra, which they finally went full size, you know, they had the Tundra before that, but it wasn't the size everybody was hoping for. But then they came out in 07 and kind of wowed, you know, Motor Trend Truck of the Year kind of stuff, the 5.7 motor, 400 horse, you know, that was awesome at the time. I feel like the forward thinking of it wasn't where it needed to be at the time. So I want to see some better packaging. I want to see the MPGs come up to the EPA standard of where everybody else is at. Now, one thing you got to remember too is if you actually look at the overall ownership of vehicles down the road, not what it says on the sticker, the Tundra isn't that far off from other V8 motors. Okay, it's just the EPA ratings are pretty low, but I would like to see the motor come up and, you know, help get that MPG number up a little bit. Like I said, a bunch of you guys out there really do care about your MPGs, and you should. It is a truck, we know, but nowadays standards, you need to be better on that. Like I said, packaging is the big thing. I want more available to me. For instance, in the SR5, if I have a Crewmax, I can't get a moonroof. Well, why not? That should be available. There should be more options available, like some of the other brands out there. I do like the way Toyota packages because it's less annoying when you're going to build one. That's always a great thing. I'm always a big fan of that. But I still think there's more to be desired. In the past couple of years, if you actually look on Toyota.com and try to build a Tundra, there are a lot more packages available. So they're heading in the right direction, but we're not there yet. Also, I would like to see more differences in the trims. Okay, so if you come all the way up to a Platinum at $51,000 from a Limited, there are differences, but there's not a ton of differences. Make it so it's worth my while to go up to that package. And I know we did the video the other day about, you know, working your price down to where you can actually go home with a Platinum versus something in a lower trim. But overall, at the end of the day, not really counting price, make it worth my while to step up to that level. That's a big thing. So the talk is the V6 motor, potentially electric motor. I'm down with that. That's technology. Let's do it. I'll be the first one to buy the most controversial engine that you guys don't like. I know a lot of you are V8 fans. I'll buy it just to show you what it's all about. But like I said, overall, they got to knock it out of the park. They need to make the truck completely different than what it is today. It needs to be just a fresh start, new looking truck, interior, brand new, fresh, all of that. Give me the sickest speaker system in that thing you can think of. Make it so my Bluetooth connects immediately. Some of you like it, some of you don't. Push button start, keyless entry has to happen. It has to come up to where everybody else is. They just have to forward think this thing a little bit before it comes out. Now, as we keep saying, 2021 is the rumored year for the next generation Tundra, but nothing is ever set in stone. And one thing you got to learn from a lot of these automotive manufacturers, they don't tell anyone what they're doing until they're ready to do it. So they could bump it up to 2020, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see, but as I've heard from very reliable sources, 2021 will be the remodel year for the Tundra and the Sequoia. So we shall see. Sorry for the rant. Comment below the video and tell me some of the stuff you would like to see on the new Tundra. Am I missing anything? I'm sure I'm missing some stuff. I know we want 100% must have a spray-on bed liner. I know you guys are not a fan of the drop-in, stuff like that. But yeah, things like that. Let me know if it's little specific things or overall feelings on the next generation Tundra. What do you need to see? Especially those of you out there who don't own a Tundra but you're in the market. Is there stuff that you wish the Tundra had that it doesn't have now? One more thing before I let you go. I feel like they need to work a lot on the double cab too. Make certain things available on the double cab that aren't now. The power sliding rear window all the way down, that would be a cool thing. Moonroof, why not? Other brands, double cab size cabs, moonroof available. Stuff like that, guys. But comment below the video. Let me know what you think. I really look forward to hearing what you have to say. And don't forget, we have a live stream, 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night, so we could talk about it there too. Look forward to hearing what you guys got to say. Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. You guys have a fantastic day.